Good afternoon, my dear viewers. Welcome to Global Education and Training Institute Live Talk. We are again live with another phenomenal speaker of ours. Today we have Miss Veena Purwar. She is the principal of Versatile Scholars, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. She is the founder and principal of this school, and she is the director of Rarefield International Master Trainer for Vedic Maths, Q Maths, and Abacus. She is a life skill trainer for State Wellness Program, and she's been awarded Innovative Teaching and Gaurav Samman in 2020, and she is having a composite experience of 20 years. I welcome you, ma'am. So
Thank
today
you.
we will be talking on the topic how to cater to different learning minds. What an interesting topic. We
Thank
like
you so much.
eagerly wait to hear you on this topic. Over
It's
to
my
you,
pleasure,
ma'am.
ma'am, and thank you so much. And welcome all the guests and the viewers to this new session, how to deal with the different learning minds. We often talk about, a lot of things in the classroom, and we have a diverse class. And the role of the teacher is always underestimated. But the teachers are really doing a learning experience and a great job with the new technology. But when the children are not in the class, it becomes much more difficult to cater to the all different learning minds and to make them, understand why it is necessary to listen and to get that learning into the classroom. So let's check how it would be if into the classroom there are the children and with diverse fields, different age group, different society norms, different house cultures, and look, just imagine the scene. The child is sitting in a drawing room, maybe sitting at the dining table, the people in the house moving, all chaos, just like a sabzi mandi. And then how you need to cater to the different learning minds and the different learning situations the children are sitting into the classroom at home. And how does the teacher cater to each and every learning mind of the at that situation? So I request ma'am to just share my PPT. Thank you so much, ma'am. So what is the definition of differentiation instruction? What would you define? If anybody is to be asked, you would say, okay, instruction means you need to explain a thing in two different ways, or you may have a substitute lesson plan. But is that all? Let us capture to it. Ma'am, can you move to the next slide, please? Zena, ma'am?
Ma'am, you have to do it on your end because you are sharing it.
Okay. It's just a second.
Go to
Okay.
your PPT and use
Yes,
this.
ma'am.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
if I ask someone to give me an example, when have you used a differential instruction in the classroom? The teacher may say, oh, ma'am, when we go and explain, we try to break the instruction and ask the child to do the question. But is giving an example or breaking the question helps the child to understand the question? How would you discover that your child has understood the instructions given in the question? Is the child following the language of what are the two instruction or one instruction given into the question, or when you teach into the class, how will you discover that has your child or the student understood what is to be asked and what is to be taught? Now, what are the quick ongoing exercises that help you to identify the different learners? How do you understand? Maybe sometime when you show something visual, some children do follow it. Other children understand when they hear it, and some may understand when they do it. And often the teachers and the parents say when you do it, your memory is strong. But is it so with every child? There may be different. And when a teacher enters into the class, how many lessons plan do we expect from a teacher to have? It is very difficult to have more than two lesson plans, plan A and plan B to explain. But in a class of 30, it becomes very difficult for the teacher to plan as many as lesson plans as the children into the classroom. So what does the teacher do? One teacher and there are 30 students and they may say, is this right? Ma'am, can I go? Can I borrow a math book? Can I borrow a pencil? What does this word mean? Ma'am, please repeat. So full class of chaos. And what does the teacher do? Here comes your differentiation. I would call differentiation as a deliberate adjustment of the content and a product of instructions to make sure that each child can maximize his or her learning. It is the process of making the instructions a good fit for each student. Just like you say, it's a tailor-made. All the workshops are tailor-made. Classroom, when you go into the classroom, it's the adjustment which the teacher has to make according to the child's need in the classroom. You say, it's like if you're painting a painting, you need different brushes, different tools to do a painting, and different colors to express yourself. Suppose we have, here I would give an example of a cricket team. When you say a team, it has 11 members or 12 members, and without a team, you cannot win a match or play a match. But each player, there are bowlers, there are batsmen, there is wicket keeper, then there are spinners, different type of bowlers. So you have to have a combination to make a good team and to win. Same into the classroom, the teacher needs to make all the deliberate adjustments of the content, how she is going to teach, what she is going to teach, and the process by which she would maximize the learning of the children into the classroom. And while the child is learning, we need to allow our students to think like artists. Let them be explorative. Because when we are using technology, the children have been exposed to a media with so much vast knowledge. And when the child enters into the class, they say, what is for me? And if he doesn't find what is for him or her, the learning barrier starts. And why is it necessary? Why is it necessary first to differentiate and then how to cater to the different learning styles of the children? So first thing is age. Your lesson, your content, your language, your words should be age appropriate. You cannot use big words, big hi-fi vocabulary for a small toddler. You have to come down to the child's level. Give them examples. उस भाषा में बोलो जिसमें बच्चा समझे, जिससे कनेक्ट कर सके, उसकी एबिलिटी देखिए, राइट? उस बच्चे की एबिलिटी अगर उसे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, उसने कहीं चीज नहीं देखी है, then the child will not understand. Gender of the child, learning style, can he just hear and understand? Does he see and understand? Or does he do and understand? There are different learning styles of each child. Now, motivation. This is the main target which we face these days. The child is asked to sit in front of the TV and maybe the mobile where he takes the class, and he is just woken up to it 5 minutes before. Chalo utho, class shuru ho rahi hai, bad job, acha baith gaya. The child is not motivated to take the class. He is not in the mood of taking the class. Before coming to the school, the mother gives him a bath, gives him breakfast, the child wears the school dress. So he is into the process that yes, ab ja karke padhna hai. And at home, we give set rules for the online classes that see child, you have to be motivated and you are going to learn something new today for yourself, for your exploration. Understand the child's prior learning. How much does the child know? How long has been his learning experience in that field? Suppose the child is asked to do addition and the child has not been exposed to doing simple operations or games. But when you ask him, अच्छा तुम्हें 2 टॉफी लेनी है और तुम्हारे पास तुम्हारे 4 टॉफी लेनी है, 2 टॉफी है, how many trophies do you want? The child will say. But when it comes to mathematics, we don't explain to the child that what were you doing there is simply addition. So understanding the prior knowledge of the child is very, very necessary. Specific learning difficulties. This happens when the children are from different backgrounds, different languages, different dialects they have. Learning environment, behavioral difficulties, emotional difficulties, learning process. What is the child in habit of learning in small groups or large groups and in traditional and progressive adjustments? Now, when the teacher comes again, the different things she needs to understand of the classroom are that the students in the classroom are with different needs, different educational background. Each child has a different attention span, different interests, different language abilities, and different cultural background. She has to respect all the cultural background, language barriers, and the interest. Some interests children do not like science. It's the role of the teacher to know the learning of the children into the classroom and then prepare a lesson plan. Keep all the objectives and learning outcomes into your mind when you make a lesson plan. And your teaching methodology. When you have a teaching method, ensure that whatever you teach into the classroom, the child understands the teaching, because you can give small activities. Help support the child, doing it. The more he does it, the more he understands, the more he applies to it. It becomes easy. Here we say, Sap Siri, Snakes and Ladders, if you have played, I think most of us have played it. And you could apply it to the learning of mathematics, English, nouns, pronouns, Hindi, Sarvanam, like place different corners on numbers. Then you throw the dice, ask the child if he has to climb the ladder, that this has to be done. If the child gives the right answer, the child climbs the ladder. If the child does not give the right answer, he takes 2 steps or 3 steps back. Make your learning as much as fun. Prepare your lesson plans in such a way that learning becomes fun. Now, when the child is sitting into the classroom, the child should know his learning objective. That क्लास में अगर बैठे हैं तो हम पढ़ने के लिए बैठे हैं, समझने के लिए बैठे हैं, and I have to learn it. Not that the child teacher says पढ़ लो, कर लो, लिख लो, or the mother and the father in the classroom say कि बेटा उधर ध्यान दो. Make your surrounding, make your classroom, make the place where the child is sitting at home in such a pleasant atmosphere that he has that learning objective. Okay, आज मैं कुछ सीखने वाला हूँ. Right? And as a team. Now, when the second process goes to the ball turns to the teacher. A teaching process should be such that the child understands what is she trying to convey. Teaching is not telling. It is cueing. Give hints to the child. Let the child come to understanding. Let Encourage the child to speak up and to express that he or she is following whatever the teacher is trying to explain, and to be able to get a result of learning. When we say assessments or assignments, make sure when you assign something, ask the child, has he or she understood what is to be asked and what is she being asked to do? Don't leave the child with the assignment and without making it clear what are you expecting from the child. So when you know in history, facts matter, places, people, and things. What event happened? Where did that event happen? We live in a city which has historical background. It has facts. It has places. We can encourage the child to explore, give him ideas, generalize, and make it essential understanding. Food, the food and the culinary of Lucknow, or the cities where he visits. And only when you have these things, the skills of the child are encouraged and you see outcomes. Now, where can a teacher differentiate and how can she do to the learning out minds of the child? First, the content. Whenever the teacher selects the content, choose the content which has the knowledge, specific knowledge you want to transfer to the child, the skills, the attitudes you want the child to learn. Differentiate that it is age appropriate, understanding appropriate, and you have pre-tested it so that you can understand and the need of the child. What can be the process? You could have different process. Don't keep it just to the making of charts or making flow charts. There are different ways where you can ask how the child can give them free choices. Like it can be verbal or linguistic. You can ask them to create a poem or make a concept map. If it is mathematics, you can ask them to design a map or make an outline. They can design a comic strips with the characters in English or history or draw graphs in geography. Interperson, you can ask them to create stories or discuss among themselves and come to conclusion that whatever they have learned is appropriate or not. Is it connecting to the conditions of the classroom? Is it connecting to the content, what is being taught into the class? Body kinesthetic, that is physical exercise or hands-on experiments, small experiments. You can tell them go to the field trip, collect different leaves, see the different plants, just note the different temperatures of the daily. How is the weather changing day by day? This brings them close to the science. Oh, musical rhythmic. You could ask them to create raps. The children enjoy that. Write a jingle. On TV, we often watch the catchy lines which we keep in mind and we understand with the products. Make them naturalistic, take them to field trips, tell them to label, to classify different things what they see, and write their personal experiences, write what they would like. But make sure that when you give them a free choice, tell them they have to take at least 2 or 3 things. It's not that they just do one thing and they say, oh, well, done. No. Because in each class there are children who, depending on their different potentials of there may be children with lower potential, good potential, and higher potential. So when you do questions, just see that they are not too hard, not too below the child's understanding. So I would say when the teacher is catering to the different learning. It is a quick recap that they should know the learner, assess the learner, adjust your assignment, change your questioning strategies, and your curriculum approaches. I hope I have been able to guide you to the best how to cater to the different learning minds in the classroom. If you have any queries, you can write to me at principalversatilescholars@gmail.com or educationpartners10@gmail.com, and my number is there 9453011505. And I'm open to questions. And over to you, ma'am. If you have
Thank you,
any.
ma'am. Thank you for such an enlightening session. I request my audience if they have any question, please type it in your chat box. And Veena ma'am is all ears to your questions and she will answer them. With this, and this was such an enlightening session, ma'am. I learned a lot as a teacher. What should be your attitude? That is what I learned. Like we shouldn't be close to options. We should always look for possibilities, and we should always keep working on the things
That's
that
it.
we know. And this is superb. Like just the brushing of all teachers know this, but
Yes,
due to lack of practice or monotonous and things happening around them, they forget all this. So teachers, this was a very quick reminder to you all, and ma'am has taught, like given us so many ways how we can go about and help children with different minds in the same class without wasting any
yes,
time and utilizing the available time and helping each child.
that's true, ma'am. Thank
So
you
with
so much, ma'am. It was
thank you.
wonderful to be on the platform. And thank you, Getty, for bringing me on this platform. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am. Thank you.
right.
I would
Thank you.
like to thank my viewers. And I would like to tell you one thing that Getty is always working towards promoting transforming education. And how do we transform it? By trainings. And for upcoming trainings, you can go to our website and log in to our query section and you can get answers to your questions. Thank you so much. You can
Thank
also
you.
call. And there's a question for you: how to
Okay.
impress with the student in English class?
Okay, how to interact with the children in English class.
Hmm.
Okay, so it depends. Firstly, that English class you are catering to students with total English medium, or it is an English that the child understands English to which level. Are you taking up the language chapter or the literature? To hold the child for the literature, you could just pick up the good new words you feel into the literature, put it on the board, and just read them out. Ask the child, as and when we learn the chapter or go through the chapter, wherever you find this word, just underline it. In this way, you will hold the child's attention throughout the chapter reading or explanation. And if it is a language, depends on the chapter which you are taking. And connected to the Hindi, same. अगर noun है तो संज्ञा, verb है तो क्रिया. This way the child will feel connected and he will definitely pay attention to the class. I hope I have attended the question properly and I have
Yes.
satisfied the question.
Yes, ma'am. I am
Yes.
satisfied. I don't know about our Mr. Nasser who asked this question. Is he satisfied or not? I hope so. This was convincing answer. So with this, we end our talk. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear viewers, and thank you, Veena, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.